Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to Train World TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Now, you can find all the links in the description box below or trainworld.com. And without further ado, enjoy today's video.
You're up, Christian.
Awesome. All righty. Good evening. Good day. Hello to everyone joining us this evening for Thomas Tuesday, November 2023. Hard to believe 4 weeks have already passed since the last stream, but we are back yet again for another banger event. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And man, again, do we have another action-packed stream lined up. We have Johnny, as everyone knows, as BlueBells5529, an amazing content creator on YouTube, consistently uploading videos with over 28,000 subscribers, and an absolutely phenomenal Thomas modeler on top of that. How are you doing today, Johnny?
I am doing wonderful, Christian. How about you?
Doing fantastic. Super excited and honored to have you on here tonight. And we also have Doug Blaine from Bachmann Trains, also here to talk about the latest releases, such as N-Scale Toad and some new HO vans coming out in very soon, as well as lots of shipping updates of products coming out in 2024. So Doug Blaine, how are you doing this evening?
Terrific. Thanks for the show. Great to be here with everyone.
Awesome. And Ken, the man who started this to begin with and gave me the opportunity to help out in any way I can. How are you doing today?
I am doing great, and Christian, we couldn't keep continuing it without you. So thank you, Christian. And we're excited with all these great guests you're bringing on, and Johnny tonight. So I said Johnny on the spot for tonight. So we're excited for that. And Doug, as usual, is always a pleasure to have, and we're so excited that Bachmann is so supportive of these Thomas Tuesday episodes.
Fantastic. And yeah, Ken, I'm seeing good evening from Wales, 11 p.m. here. That just shows you how committed some of these viewers are, staying up that late for this stream, because they can't miss it. They cannot miss it. And that just speaks wonders to how intense and wonderful people are in this fandom. But yes, without further ado, Ken, let's jump right into Johnny. So Johnny, you have been in the fandom for how long?
I started my YouTube channel in 2011.
2011. Wow.
Yeah, and I've been in the fandom since technically 2008, but I started my YouTube channel in 2011.
Fantastic. And what got you into Thomas to begin with?
What got into Thomas for me was I was at a daycare, and there was never really any toys that really clicked with me as a child. But in daycare, there was this kid that brought Thomas toys to the daycare center, and he would share them with me, kindly enough, and I couldn't get my hands off of them. And then it kind of snowballed from there, and then my caretaker would play Thomas on VHS. I believe they gifted me, my first VHS, which was Rescue to the Rescue and Other Stories. So, and then it just snowballed from there. And then I got into I got into Ertl, and then I got into some Gold Rail Bandai. And then I was mainly a Tomy user for the longest time until this stuff happened, where basically I was given my first Bachmann set. It was I tried to reduplicate it here. It was the James, I believe it was a freight set. It was James, open wagon, fuel tanker, and a brake van. And I loved it. I couldn't take my hands off of it.
It's amazing. How old were you when you started with that?
I was ironically 5.
5?
So,
that's when I started too, yeah.
There you go. Funny little side change that I thought the number 5 on the Bachmann logo stood for James's number 5. So like that's why I loved every single thing about that set. It was all, to me, it was all James. So
definitely, it's classic, and I can relate to that too. Getting my first Bachmann starter set with Thomas Indy and Clarabelle in the Circle of Easy track, seeing my father connected around the Christmas tree as a 5-year-old boy, and just being completely mesmerized. And thinking to myself, because at the time I just had like the wooden railway model, and I think I had one Tomy Thomas, and I was like, these are cool, but I wonder if there's a Thomas electric train that looks pretty close to what I envisioned from the TV show. And then when I saw that Bachmann Thomas, I was like, wow, this is pretty damn close. Of course, as a kid, I was super ecstatic with that, and it's only escalated from there. And frankly, there's a part of me that's still like that to this very day, which is why I'm still here doing this. But that goes into what I was going to ask next. Like, what has kept you attached to Thomas after all these years? Now as a young man.
Truthfully, it was both the fandom and just the model railroad aspect of it. To me, the Bachmann stuff, the Bachmann Thomas range, even though it was more aimed towards like kids 8 and up, I believe, is the age range. It was a more mature version to me of the toys I had, which was Tomy and Ertl. I couldn't get my hands off the Bachmann stuff. And even though the other toys from Trackmaster and Tomy went away from me, the Bachmann stuff kept me in the fandom, kept me liking it. And then also the fandom, like I just said, kept me into it too. And then when I found out there were people that are older than me that still like Thomas, I was like, okay, it is okay to like this, and it's not weird. It's something that you can enjoy. And going back and looking at just the craftsmanship of everything, I love art. So the model series, I love the craftsmanship of how different and diverse it was to anything, because in the time period of when I was 8, I'm sure you were, Christian, 2008, 2011, before CGI took over, Thomas was the only model thing kind of going, because everyone was going towards like cartoons, like Cartoon Network style, like Flash animation.
Absolutely.
There's nothing quite like it.
Yeah. No, and to add on to what you were saying about the ages 8 and up, Bachmann then caught on years later and started making products 14 and up, because they realized there were tons and tons of older people like us buying narrow gauge and buying end skill and the resin buildings and everything else. And it's amazing, how many people there are that are interested in this, because I can relate. I was at one point like that myself, Johnny, when I didn't discover the fandom, or when I was very young. I was the odd one out, being even 8 or 9, and that was kind of the phase where people were losing interest or outgrowing Thomas, right? So I felt very out of place in a way when I was still interested in, constructing these layouts, or interested in the color spectrum of all the engines, and interested in the realism of the engines altogether from the show. As you said, the craftsmanship, the artistry that went into it. So it's just one of those situations where, as you get older, you discover these luxuries like the Thomas fandom, and you realize, wow, it's actually not as unusual as I initially thought. So that is absolutely wonderful. And so you've been starting Bachmann. You started Bachmann at the age of 5. You are now 23?
Yes.
23. So that's years and years of collecting. And my goodness, do you have quite the collection. And that's only one part of it right there, right on the table.
I dare say this is like 1/4 of it, shamelessly enough. No, I enjoy collecting this stuff. It's always been, anytime I go to any model train event, I have to collect something Bachmann Thomas related. It's just, it's the closest to my heart.
Yeah, absolutely. No, every year on the Christmas list, something Bachmann Thomas is on there. There's never been one Christmas without at least one new Bachmann Thomas product. Both Ken and Doug should need to know that, and I'm sure they do know that. So
Santa loves Bachmann Thomas items.
Oh yeah.
oh man, but that's wonderful, Johnny. And so you already spoke to some specific elements like the craftsmanship, which has led to your interest in all your custom models and collecting Bachmann products altogether. So where should we begin? Because you've got tons and tons of products to show, as well as a collage, which I will show later in the stream. So where would you like to begin?
I'll start with the collage, because the collage is mainly made to, just to show it.
Sure. That'd be a good introduction. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick, Ken, because I have it here. Present to share screen. All right. Can everyone see this?
Yeah. While you guys talk about that, I'll be right back. I got to grab the raffle, which I just forgot about. So hang tight.
All right. And Johnny, this is 14 minutes. So if you don't mind, I'm going to skim through parts of this.
Skim through it.
We're going to be here all night if we want.
Yeah. Just skim.
All right. All right. So if you want to talk through some of these shots as I'm skimming through, that'd be awesome.
So basically, this is why another reason why I collect the Bachmann stuff really is to tell my stories or adapt stories that weren't in the TV show, to replicate them in my own way here, and just to showcase stories that have just illustrations. And I want to take those illustrations and make them reality similar to the TV show. And there are a lot of things that are I've learned from filming with all this stuff, with all the Bachmann stuff. I learned new techniques. A couple of my friends, Jada and Brendan, know that I've come a long way when it comes to set building. And the Bachmann models really help. They're the stars of the show. And they really do help just bring the sets to life. And
yeah, now I have to ask, because you got Ben in the water there. Did you damage your Ben after putting it in real water like that?
No, actually, what's really surprising to me, I don't recommend this at all, but I've come to realize that Bachmann models, Christian, are waterproof.
Well, let's not make that known.
Yeah.
Or affected at home.
I don't know that our service department will agree with that. So yeah, we'll talk there.
That's awesome.
The real truth to that, I will say, the real truth to Ben in there is that he has a empty chassis that I got from the Bachmann parts store.
Oh, okay. I was about to say there because
so, that's where that dummy chassis was, and he's perfectly fine. He's right there.
Gotcha. Now it's amazing if you just to kind of segue off that, looking at these sets too, how detailed they are, because this is not part of a permanent model train layout, right? Like you actually take the time to put down the track and then add the ballast and the greenery and trees and everything to make it look as realistic as possible. And that's amazing because it speaks to how much time and effort you put into these videos.
I appreciate that. It does take, it takes a while. What you're seeing here, it took 2 years to process or to do in terms of production. It was all fun. I would do it all again because it's just so fun to play with my model trains, but also make a movie with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never get tired. I've been doing that since I was 11 years old, and I never stopped.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I'll skim a little fast. I know I'm getting now into the mud of these beautiful shots myself, so
no problem.
Speed things up.
It's every accident does. I get this question a lot. Does accidents get you tense? They don't get me tense. They actually get me excited. If anything, they're all one shot though. They have to make sure I know what I'm doing. Like when I do them.
Oh, there we go. Busy B. James.
Yeah, Busy B. James. That's another reason why I love the Bachmann Trains, though, is that you get these recolors that I've always wanted as a kid, but I grew out of those toy ranges. But Bachmann came out with a Busy B. James, and it fits perfectly on my layout. As you can see there, it fits perfectly on the sets.
Yeah. No, that's amazing seeing it run on what I'm assuming was Hackenbeck Tunnel, right? A shot from Thomas's branch line.
Yes.
And Johnny, Dan had a good question. How big of a space do you work with, and how do you create some of those amazing track shots?
I'm in the room right now that I actually filmed this stuff, and it's I don't know for the life. I know it's like I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure it's a little over 6 foot, these sets in length. So you can imagine, like, how long I got, like, those sets there. There's a reason why they've got length. It's because I'm like, what, 6 foot?
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, these must be at least 6. Sorry.
The way you've done the shots,
wow.
they really look longer than 6 feet. You get a lot of mileage out of all your construction and effort. It's a beautiful job.
Thank you. It means a lot coming from all three of you, honestly.
Christian, can you go back to that bridge?
Yeah, this one?
What? Wow. Yeah. Just freeze right there. That is awesome. Just look at the scaffolding, the construction trains, everything. Like that is awesome. That's pretty wild.
Thank you.
Well, Ken, now you give me an idea for the next project I need to do when I get back to New York.
Yeah, you need some scaffolding.
I do. I do. Need to bring it to life a bit more. That is fantastic, Johnny.
Thank you so much. The scaffold was really fun to make. All these sets, really, I love doing. Also, like the little details. It's funny that you bring up that this shot right here. Mm-hmm. I'm actually in this shot, like, funnily enough, because I like to put little details. And one of our fans that came to our events gave us figures, I believe, of me and Marvin. If you pause that right there, right?
Right here? Okay. Sure.
Right here. Look on the top right. And you see that green bus? That's me in there.
I see. So it's you in HO form.
Basically, a wonderful
awesome
guy. I believe his name was Spacey Boy. Gave us figurines of ourselves, and I was more than happy to show them to showcase those figurines on the sets.
That's awesome. Well, next we need to get Ken and Doug in HO form.
I don't know if they'd appreciate that.
I think we had 1 or 2 sale total. So at least me. Doug, is a instant classic. So everybody would be buying up the Doug.
What happened with King Ken? Come on now. It's going to be a huge seller.
Thank you all to everybody that's saying that they love watching my video. It means a lot to me. It means so much to me in my heart. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Our pleasure.
And Soder Dan the man had a good question. If you could be a character or Christian, we should actually ask this question as a standard question for every guest. Dan the man, you the man. This is a good question. I like that. So, and quite honestly, on our interviewing process, this should be a good question. If you could be a character or a loco type in your series, what would you be? Johnny.
Wow, putting me on the spot there. No. I would say, I don't know if many people know this, but in terms of like any like actual steam engine, probably the Class G2A. It's a British steam locomotive. That's a mixed traffic, and I love mixed traffic locomotives. So.
Okay. Yeah, very good. I like that. Good answer.
That Percy still runs, by the way, and that got dipped in water. He's right there. He got dipped in water too.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it, man. I would never ever put my models in real water like that because I would be too scared to damage them.
When you've been through the concept and you think about how you're supposed to take it or how you can maneuver through it,
mm-hmm.
You can make something that looks really damaging, but it's not really that damaging to your models, as odd as that may sound.
Doug's going to get a company-wide alert tomorrow morning. There's been a recent surge of people putting their Thomas engines in water.
I'm going to put the disclaimer.
I hope that doesn't happen. So, Johnny, let's put the disclaimer in.
Yeah. If you
don't try this at home.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
Yeah, it's all right. If I come across any more real water, I'll just skim right by it.
Also what people are know me for is using these models here, which are a lot more realistic takes on the characters as well. Which the main reason for that was because the Thomas universe in the TV show was honestly the most realistic I've ever seen. So I wanted them to be more in touch with the actual characters' bases that were in the Railway series and in descriptions of the Railway series books. It keeps the universe that I try to tell my stories a lot more realistic, if that makes any sense.
Gotcha. Again, just the effort you put into the scenery of these sets. That's what's catching my eye more than anything else.
And by the way, for everybody watching out there, Johnny has over 27,000 subscribers, and it really is quite an accomplishment, and it's so difficult to get that amount of subscribers. So Johnny, you should be very proud of yourself. That's quite an accomplishment. But everybody out there, please look at Johnny as inspiration, that your channel could grow as high as it can. I mean, we've had such an incredible guest that Christian has brought on to this channel, and Johnny is one of those guests. It's just amazing what everybody out there could create. It's just remarkable. I could never do this. It's just unbelievable.
I'm gonna have to start moving the tables though once I hit like 30. That's for sure.
I need to apologize a little bit. Comcast, but our cable company here is working outside on the street, and I am doing all this on my phone. So some of the images are very small, and I can't really comment on everything. But just to echo what Ken said, it looks like just outstanding work, and absolutely, you should be proud. And hopefully it does give other people and inspire other people with ideas for what they can accomplish as well. Beautifully done.
Thank you so much. I'm very proud of the people that support me, and I'm so thankful and blessed to have an audience that love my stuff.
Awesome. Well, that's the whole thing. So I guess I'll stop the share, and then we'll go into the real physical models that you have right behind you right there.
They're all around me.
All right. Fantastic.
I'll start with the Bachmann stuff mainly, well, because obviously this is a Bachmann stream. So, no, but even though not many people were liking the idea of the Busy Bee James, I loved it because again, I've always wanted one of these, but there was only the Tomy and Trackmaster wooden railway one, and I wasn't into it. But then they came out with this, and I decided to go for it.
That's awesome.
It brings me back to my childhood.
And you even gave it the angry face, I see.
Oh yeah, I forgot to 3D printed face right there. Doesn't want to be busy like a bee, like as the show said.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Lately, I've been doing a lot of matte coding. This isn't the latest release, but with Rosie here, I gave the matte clear coat because she has a lot of decaling, and I really wanted to save it. So I decided to give the matte clear coat, and it'll save her, all the little decal pieces for there.
Awesome.
There's a bunch of stuff here. Sorry.
Go one by one.
Yeah, sure.
While you're looking, if I could just comment on something you said earlier about James with the number 5 reflecting the 5 in the Bachmann logo. Just so everybody knows, it's not a 5. It's actually a stylized B for Bachmann. And I never saw it as a 5 until someone said it to me several years ago. And it's like, oh yeah, it does look like a 5. So it is a common misconception, but it's actually a B. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Thank you.
No problem.
It actually settles the question I had all my life.
And that is why would there be a 5 in the Bachmann logo, right?
That is true.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Here are the Bachmann Bill and Bens. That is the Ben that fell in the water.
The one that fell in the water and you somehow salvaged.
Now, to give it to clear anything, see, it's a dummy chassis. So it was never the chassis like in the other room, and this one, this one's fine. And the chassis, it's completely fine. I would never damage. Do not damage a model that you paid a lot of money for. I'm gonna say that right now.
Especially these quality Bachmann models.
Yes, they are very much quality, and they deserve all the respect that they are given, that they should be given.
No swimming allowed.
Yes, no swimming allowed. What was it? Someone mentioned Fergus, so I might as well bring up the Fergus here. This is the one that everyone wanted to see, and everybody was really fascinated by. It was one project I had. Bachmann did help with this because those are there's a Bachmann motor in the inside there that has been put onto a 3D printed shell and wheels that are as big as Bachmann Henry wheels. It does move. It's all 3D print. The face is a Erlo Godred because I just wanted to put a different model on, or some type of face on there. But it was a really fun project to do, and a lot of people say it's my best. If you think that, thank you. But I'm more proud of the stuff here at the back here. I've actually got a few models that Bachmann has actually helped me with, thanks to their chassis and their toolings here. This right here, I'm going to use the standard Bachmann Oliver as a comparison for this, but this right here is a work in progress. This is a Oliver based on the TV series model. This is a commission for the user Jacob K, and he wanted it to be TV series style. So what you're seeing here is a Bachmann Oliver chassis with Bachmann Henry wheels and a new 3D printed body shell entirely put onto it. If you see right here.
So just to clarify for people in the chat who may have questions, by TV series you mean model series, right? Versus
Yes.
CGI series. So it's a difference in style. Okay.
Yes. As you can see the difference in the two models here. This is the standard. This is the custom. And
it's funny because only hardcore fans like us would see these minute changes,
Oh yeah, definitely. But that doesn't mean the Bachmann models are necessarily bad. They're amazing. It's if you want to be really specific, like hardcore Thomas fans, they'll take the models and alter them into their desired looks.
Yeah. No, it's just because family members have questioned me like, what's the difference, Christian? The one dome is a little bit bigger, one's a little bit thinner. What's the difference? One has a CGI face, one has a model era face, and I'm like, yeah, but we all have our style preferences.
Right.
It's like, why did you get your Toyota Corolla? Why didn't you get your Honda Civic or something? There's a reason for that too. So,
Right.
Anyways, I don't know. That's just funny tangent there.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, let's look at your Thomas model though, right? You have a Bachmann Thomas there that's slightly modified.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Bachmann. The reason why I made this train here was because that's the second set I got for Christmas. The next, I think a few months later, was I wanted the standard Bachmann Thomas train set for Christmas, and I ended up getting it. This right here, it's not the exact model, but still, this has another face that is a TV series accurate face onto it. And it's pretty much a standard Bachmann Thomas, but people want a different face for theirs usually, and so I do that to mine. Let's see. Here's another Thomas. This Thomas is more accurate to the Railway Series illustrations. I use a 3D printed shell made by Spark Shot. As you can see there, it's the Bachmann Thomas chassis with a whole new body shell under entirely. and a face that's probably not the nicest, but the whole thing was completely repainted. The wheels were completely repainted and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Bachmann model really did help. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite Bachmann project I've ever done, though, and the people have seen it in the videos, is Percy here. This is because this is my desired Percy that I've always wanted, and the Bachmann model's wheels were perfect for what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So what you're seeing here is a 3D printed body shell. Again, this body shell is based on the Reverend W. Audrey, the author's Percy model, because in interviews he said this was the real Percy, as he would describe it. So I decided to model this here, and it's a fantastic model that it's a fantastic runner, I mean. And I tried to paint in my desired look, like I said to other people. It shows it gets a lot of looks, mainly because I think I'm like one of the only people that has one like this. But that's okay. In terms of like any art or anything like that, to anybody that's watching that's younger, it's okay to be different. It's perfectly okay to be different and stand out from the rest. Mm-hmm. The model, like this summer, the model for the summer for me though was Daisy, because I always wanted one. So every summer I always try to get at least one model from anywhere, and I decided to get Daisy because she was honestly the best one, and honestly one of Bachmann's best. So yeah, and on that one.
Yeah, such a smooth runner too.
Oh yeah, right? One of the best ones I got.
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple things I wanted to mainly show. When it comes to the Bachmann range, there's stuff that I like to look at that doesn't get that as much of attention. The figures are getting a lot more attention now, thanks to the HO scale figure packs that are coming out. But for the figures that are the larger scale figures, I decided to paint them up into my desired looks for them too. For this top hat here, I added the teeth and I added the white trim to them. That way he looks more accurate to the model, the close-up model that was used in the model era. Same with the conductor here. I added the light blue pockets to him as well. Nice. And this one's a lot of people say this is my favorite. I don't know why it's their favorite, but I made this is supposed to be the policeman that stops Thomas and Thomas breaks the rules. So it's basically using the conductor figurine. And as you can tell by his face, he's pretty bothered by Thomas breaking the rules. I also made him a little pen so he can write regular lawbreaker in his books.
Very cool.
That's funny. That's funny.
So I tried to add the red, but it looks like blush. But
that's great. And how did you take them off the green circular bases?
Oh, easy. I used a X-Acto blade. If you're under the age, get a parent to help you with that.
I see.
Please. And I basically took, and for the constable here, he's special because again his arms move, and I basically chopped it off the peg, and I filled in the hole, and now his arms move up and down.
That's awesome! Wow.
Very cool.
I'll have to do that with my close-up figures too, because I got a few of those lined up. Back in New York.
Right on. This one is a little obscure, but it was fun to do. I did this in high school, but I've always wanted to show this to everybody. It doesn't get shown much, but this is the Bachmann Birdie that I've kind of altered entirely. This was based on one of the buses in the illustrations that looked almost exactly like Birdie, but I wanted, obviously it was green. So what I did was I tried to super detail it a little bit by cutting out the holes in the side of the windows, and I gave it a new face just to be a little distinctive. And yeah, it's small things like that I think deserve a little more appreciation from the range. I think like Birdie or Harold or the figurines, because
definitely
I think they set the standard for what is to come for what's next in the range.
Yeah, no, and it's just awesome. Again, like we're getting Sir Top Matt's car and Bulgy Those are
Right.
like the big announcements. So they have come back. The new releases have come back in that area. So thank you, Doug. That's what,
Oh, our pleasure at Bachmann. No problem. So I'd never seen the green bus before at all. So that was just in the original stories and not in any TV shows.
It wasn't in any TV shows. It was in the illustrations. It was in a basically this is a bus from Toby's old branch line that replaced him.
Gotcha.
So, and I based it off of that. Yes, green bus people.
Is there a name
just
for
nice to
the
have the
green bus,
variety.
or-
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Doug.
No, it's just nice to have the variety and reaching back and, like you said, adding more character, more detail. It just gives greater depth to the collection and the way you represent your interest in Thomas. I think it's great.
Thank you so much. There's always, it doesn't matter what part of Thomas you look at, there's some type of craftsmanship of some kind, which is crazy, man.
Lots of opportunity.
Very much so. And I hope to anybody that's watching, that if you have an opportunity to do something different, don't be afraid to do it, because you got to express that creative energy. You can't have it all biled up inside. You got to express that somehow.
Absolutely. I'm going to take a quick break here. I have to plug my phone in. The streaming is taking out the battery pretty fast. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Okay.
And
Great.
Tom Tank Production says, for anyone who doesn't know, the green bus was in the RWS Toby the Tram engine book.
yeah, the Railway series. Yeah, Toby the Tram engine book. Yeah, awesome.
Christian, can you confirm these details are correct?
I can confirm, Ken. Yes. I mean, I'll be honest. The Railway series is not my primary expertise. The television show more so is. But I know Johnny's got his back straight when it comes to this stuff. So I'll just take a word for it.
Christian is secretly at grad school studying Thomas the Tank literature in a library, just learning every single page, flipping the book and making sure he knows every single page of the episode.
Oh yeah, and the librarians are walking by like, what the heck is this guy looking at?
Oh my goodness.
No, frankly, Ken, I forget if I said this in the last stream, but no one here has any idea about this. No one. I've told
So
this
you
to
got
no
by
one,
bringing in the banner in the room.
Yes, well, the thing is, the banner goes straight in the closet when it's over. No one knows about it. No one. I've had a few friends over here actually a few times, but I never open up that closet door, so they have no idea.
There you go. Out of sight.
I might open up one day and show them, oh yeah, this is my model train layout, and maybe they'll either be like, I had no idea you'd be into that, or wow, that's really cool. So we'll have to see.
We got to do a Thomas party at the dorm.
Yeah, but what I did tell them was that I did help out with social media at Train World. So I did express that, and I told them definitely if you're interested in purchasing model trains or getting into model trains, go right to trainworld.com. They are the closeout kings.
Awesome, you're the man, Christian.
Of course, I always spread the word when I can.
I guess
But as for Thomas,
doesn't like our TikToks. Sorry about that, Ty.
But yeah, Johnny, so you showed a lot of the engines, but you told me you also have a bunch of rolling stock to show, right?
I do. I might as well show the Raspberry Syrup because that's on my banner.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Raspberry Syrup tanker, and the two favorites for mine from the Bachmann range are these two. Mainly because one of my favorite stories is Too Hot for Thomas. It's a story that's a little ridiculous, but it's still a fun story nonetheless. So I did not hesitate to buy these. I also
nostalgia, man. I'm all for it.
Yeah, definitely. With the matte clear coat, also, I've been adding that mainly to all my rolling stock to again keep the decaling, and I also did that for the fuel tanker and the milk tanker here to give the clear coat, to give it that a little more realistic look, because tankers aren't always shiny. So I also did that with the NW breakdown to give it a matte clear coat as well. With the tankers, which are my favorite part of the range, I managed to do some model projects as well from seasons 1 to 5, really. Sorry, the silver one here. The silver ones, I believe they were only seen in season 2, if I remember correctly. So I made like a few of these because I thought it was very interesting that there were silver tankers on the railway at that time period of season 2.
Oh, Johnny, just a segue. Randall asked, "Do you have the ice cream wagon?"
I do not.
To go with Too Hot for Thomas. So
I do
Doug,
not.
we need the ice cream tank. We need the ice cream van back in the Rage Parade show.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. Always one request per stream. That's just how it
Doug.
goes.
Sure.
Doug, your list must be like Santa's like naughty or nice list. Like
It's a very, very long list. It's a couple lifetimes worth.
it's gotta be.
So we bring them on as soon as we can, but it's a long list, like you said.
Definitely. With the Rolling Stock piece, though, I do like how Bachmann does do stuff from the nostalgia childhood. Because the scrap wagon, I've wanted the wooden model. I've always wanted that as a kid, and now we got it in model form. So that was a great little piece. Oh, and I also added a scruffy face just because.
Nice.
But I like mixing around the freight cars having different faces. 3 of them right here, which I painted these I painted these all brown to replicate the season 1 style, but yeah, they're all brown. And this one right here in the middle is my favorite. I love these 2 on the sides, but the middle one's my main.
Nice.
But also the Rolling Stock, you can also dirty it up. I'm sure a lot of people have seen. So this is one of the cargo cars, one of the conflats. I decided to take the container and and I took the Rolling Stock piece and I completely painted this whole planking here brown, and matte clear colored the sides here, or everything really, and I decided to dirty up the box that comes with, just to give it more character.
Oh, that looks awesome. I was about to ask, how did you weather up the box? What did you use for that?
That is simple, just taking a paintbrush and taking a little bit off with a paper towel and just lightly coating it onto the boxcar.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, it just brings it to life. It looks like real wood.
Thank you,
Honestly,
I appreciate
it. So.
All these, I can show like a few of the other customs if you want.
Let's do it.
Okay, so this one's another face that's provided by Jacob K. But I have a scrap Oliver here. This is for.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you.
That's really neat.
Another railway. Also, this is probably obscure, but this is a Red Henry for the the TV series. No, not TV series. The railway series story that was never put into the TV series, which was Henry Sees Red, where Henry gets painted red for almost the entire story.
Doug, a scrap Oliver. You guys got the tooling.
I'd never seen Scrap Oliver before. That's interesting.
Yeah,
It was the debut episode, dog. You've never seen Oliver's debut episode, Escape?
I missed that one. I depend on you gentlemen for some of this information.
Man, I'm gonna have to send that to you after
Yeah,
this is over.
Johnny, you're gonna have to send your model to Doug.
I'd be honored.
It's a good.
Is arguably Oliver's best episode, and you have not seen that, dog.
No, and is that CGI era, or that's before? It has to be before.
Yes, it's season 3.
Okay, so that's early. Okay, duly noted.
There. So,
In terms of CGI stuff, though, this is a not distinctive, but like this is something I wanted to show because this is a CGI character. I don't normally do CGI characters, but I always love to do them if I want to, if I feel the energy to. This is Connor. It hasn't been painted yet, but it's a work in progress. But it's I believe it's a Hudson, I believe, and added a face. I smoothed down the front and I added the face onto it. Everything else is pretty much standard. Still got the New York Central logo and everything like that because I think Connor looks really good with the New York Central livery. The gray makes him stand out a lot more than just if he was like aqua blue. And everyone, how many blue engines do we have on Sodor?
Too many.
Yeah.
And then I love the threat to James. I'll have you painted blue if you don't do what you're told.
Right. The main models that people know me for are these the 3D printed ones of like I just said, the Railway Series ones. This is James, a more basically based on the descriptions where they said he was a class 28, a 3D printed body shell onto a Bachmann E4 chassis. So this is supposed to be basically the realistic adaptation of James. So
sorry, Johnny. How close is Connor to that the Dreyfus Hudson?
What do you mean? Like how?
Yeah. How far off is Connor? Because Bachmann made a big announcement with their New York Central Hudson, Dreyfus Hudson. So, it could be a possibility.
I don't know that there was a provision for a face and moving eyes in the mechanism, Ken. We may have a bit of an issue with that.
Yeah. I mean, the model would be so impressive nevertheless. Maybe you could take the bow approach.
we could send Johnny over there and make a few tweaks.
Well, we'll have to talk.
Very cool.
Oh goodness. But no, it's always fun to do stuff that's in the States, really. That was the main reason to do this, because I want to do something different for once. And doing Connor was just my opportunity, which I actually got this from the train show I met you, Christian. So
I remember that.
Yep. I still remember when technically our first interactions, and we had no idea who we were.
Yes, I remember that too. I had no idea that you were Bluebells at that time, and you had no idea I was Terrence Drafter 525. Yeah.
In terms of my favorite custom, it would have to be Gordon. Gordon is actually my favorite big engine. But here, again, it was a 3D printed body shell. Added on the model, though, this is a Hornby Flying Scotsman chassis, but the valve gear needed to be changed out because Gordon in the Railway Series and the books had different valve gear. He had Stanier Black 5 valve gear, if anybody knows that. So I added new valve gear onto him entirely.
How much of a job was it to change out the valve gear? That must have been quite the project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all trial and error. When I tell people all the time to don't be afraid to try things, sometimes you have to be a little more careful with saying things like that, like changing valve gear, such as that. It was a challenge, but as long as you're careful, tedious with it, you'll make it through.
Good for you. I can imagine what a project that was.
Yeah, I love that you're so nonchalant with your responses, because you do such exquisite work with your models, and then you're just like, yeah, it was a challenge, but it's like, what are your secrets? What are your hidden secrets? What tools do you use? How do you dive into that? You know what I mean?
It's kind of like a real life lesson, but I believe life is not too short, but life is all about chance, and life's too short for what ifs. You got to keep going. You have to
go right for it.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I always love making something become a reality thanks to my efforts. Honestly,
that's awesome.
Yeah, Johnny, I'm actually on the Thomas the Tank fandom on Wikipedia, and they're saying Connor's bassist was the Dreyfus Hudson. It's very, very interesting. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. I don't know, Doug. It could be a possibility.
I have no further comment. I can't putting moving eyes in a face on tooling like that would be really difficult.
It would be. That's I do though commend them for for you guys making Bo though, because that must have been fun. I would like to think, because the tooling's there. Why not?
That was relatively simple project. So the paint is complicated, but we already had a lot of the masks for it. And there was an easy piece to replace with a new face. So not that bad, and just a great way to bring an American-style locomotive into the realm of Thomas and our product range.
And if Bachmann does not do it, then you could get the Bachmann Dreyfuss Hudson from Bachmann. I believe it's on pre-order, so they'll be coming in, and you could do all the customizations you want.
All right, I'm going with that one, Ken. I'm going with that one.
I know Rich will be very happy about that one.
Absolutely.
But Ken, how much is it? That's the burning question.
I'm not sure offhand, but we could take a look at it. But with all Bachmann products, they do price it really effectively and affordable as much as they can, especially on new tooling items. But I'm sure it is a great, big, beautiful engine. So yeah, it may be a little higher end because it's not a smaller engine, but Bachmann always has great affordable pricing for everyone. Based compared to other brands, so
right,
for sure. Did I say that right, Doug?
Sounded good to me.
Okay.
I have something a little. It's not HO. It's actually N scale related. Because with Gordon coming out, this is from the N scale. What their predecessors, Tomix, I believe, but this is a N scale Henry. In terms of like anything, like I'd like to see Bachmann take their own tackle on Henry because Gordon's out. Why not bring his buddy in there?
Sounds like a good idea. So do you collect N scale as well and work in N scale, or that's just a one-off in your collection?
Not a one-off. It's actually a work in progress because I do want to really dive into N scale because of all the layouts that Christian has shown me. You can make a really big empire with N scale, and that really shows that the Bachmann Thomas range for the N scale has a very bright future.
Yeah, actually, Ken. Oh man, I forgot where I sent this. Here we go. If I could just share my screen real quick, just one more time. I don't know if everyone can see this that clearly, but there is one layout that Tomix did that was like replicating Sodor. It was on a 4x8 layout, but it's incredible. Like they did this like a few decades, I'm gonna say maybe a decade or two ago. But just real quick, if I could just share this so everyone could see what can be done in N scale in that amount of space, it's remarkable.
That is the beauty of N scale, just being able to pack it all into the smaller space.
Yeah, Ken, could you see that?
Yep. Oh wow.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a way I could zoom in, but here I'm gonna try to zoom in. Can everyone kind of see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but that's I think a 4x8 approximately. Maybe even a little bit smaller. But if you look there, you got a ton of scenery, a roundhouse and turntable.
It's an entire country.
Yeah, and again, in N scale, you could do all that in that amount of space. It's remarkable, and I think with Bachmann now coming out with 8 engines, Diesel and Paxton on the way, Gordon, Emily, and hopefully Henry at some point. Just imagine what you could do in a on a 4x8 layout.
Christian, is that double tracked all the way around or single track?
It's double track.
That's double tracked. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to zoom in even more if I can. I know it's kind of blurry because it's an old picture, but it came from an old Tomix catalog or magazine. So you'll see the text is Japanese, but I know the dimensions are approximately 4x8 or a little bit smaller actually. And again, amazing that they could incorporate that roundhouse and turntable, multiple loops, realistic water, mountains. Again, that's like Johnny, you were saying, like that's the beauty of N scale. You could do all
interesting.
that in that space. So, where am I? Sorry, I lost my link. Okay, there we go. I guess I'll get rid of that. There we go.
Well, that was really excellent, Johnny.
Thank you.
Beautiful stuff and great job with everything.
I appreciate that. It's always fun, and I thank Bachmann, like not every day, obviously, but like I thank them all the time for they were my humble beginnings, and that's why I'll always stick with Bachmann products.
That's all.
Well, thanks to you and the fandom. It keeps us going with your support, and we're happy to continue to bring you products that generate projects that you're working on and doing such fantastic work. So thanks for sharing what you do. It's just wonderful.
Great job.
It's my pleasure. I don't know what else to say there, other than shout out to all my friends who came. Shout out to my engine friends.
Yeah, lots of hype in the chat, Johnny. And thank you again so much for showing your models, your enthusiasm for Thomas. It's awesome, and just keep the the videos coming and the projects coming. And I know I asked you for that Fergus commission too, so I'm looking forward to that in the coming months. But I know you two are busy with your coursework, studying. You're studying animation as well as foreign language, right? Dual language.
Animation and math.
And math. Okay, that's right.
Good. Not fun.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So.
Uh-oh, Ken's getting ready for something.
Yeah.
We're ready for the raffle.
Goodness.
Christian, if you want to come up with either a hashtag or a saying or
good. We have to come up with a good question, Ken. A good question.
Okay, Christian's in the Thomas question spirit today.
Okay. But now I have to think. But it has to be a good question. It cannot be an obvious question. Johnny, what's your favorite custom that you've made? It'll be a question about your favorite custom.
Does he have to say it out loud, or like, is this the question? Is he going to?
No. That's not the question. Okay. I'm just asking Johnny what his favorite question is, and then I'm going to make a question about the character.
Okay. I thought we had something going on ESP here, so thanks for the explanation. We're good.
No.
My favorite custom.
Yeah. Or one.
Because. Wow, you put me on the spot.
You said the green bus.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Green bus. I'll do green bus.
Okay. How about this? What year did the book that the green bus was featured in get published?
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Okay.
Do you even know that, Johnny?
That's
too challenging.
Let's see if anything rolls.
If anyone gets that, I'd be very impressed. But I have a second resort if no one gets that.
What's funny is I'm looking at Doug and Ken. I'm like, do you guys know?
We go to Christian for these things.
That's right. We know who the experts are.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know what the true answer is, but we're getting a bunch of different answers.
Wow, zeroed in on 1952. It seems like, but Christian's not giving anything away yet.
Christian's keeping it tight-lipped.
Absolutely. So the question is, have you seen the right answer yet, Christian?
Perhaps.
The best is also we haven't even announced what we're raffling, and everybody's loving jumping in.
There's like 6 years, like there's 6 different years. I don't even it's confusing me.
I think we need a drum roll here.
Yeah. I don't even know if anyone really guessed it. So
Ken, do we have to decide right now who the winner is?
No, but we should say what the year is.
Okay.
I guess this way the viewers can verify if you're correct.
Oh, I know Christian's correct.
So
just to clarify, Johnny, Toby the Tram Engine, right?
Yes.
I think we saw the answer multiple times in the chat.
Okay, it's nice. Okay. Go. Someone in the chat said, it was put on here. Someone said that they said bra, I don't know.
1952 is correct.
Very cool. Very cool. And just so everybody knows, so this brake band coach or red braid coach took a little dent, but we are going to raffle it off. It is in good spirits, good shape. It's just a little dent that we can't sell brand new. And so we're going to raffle this off tonight. It's G scale, so it's extra large. And hopefully we pick out a winner that's close. I'm crossing my fingers. But regardless, it will be a great raffle winner prize. And you got G-Scale, Johnny, too. There you go.
It would go great with this. That would go great with this.
Very neat. So as the I guess entries keep on rolling in, and Christian, great question. Great question. I think a lot of people got a little stumped there, but many people were right spot on for that. So,
we're at the point now, Ken, where we've done so many of these streams, the questions just have to keep on getting more challenging. That's just
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I really loved about that is, Christian didn't have a heads up on the topic before the show started, and he can instantly come up with a great question like that. It just speaks to the breadth of knowledge. It's amazing.
That's right. And nowadays, I spend my time hunting through the warehouse for these great raffles. If there's a little scratch indent or whatever, and it's always good fun to do a nice giveaway. And I'm sure you modelers out there will always find some use, or maybe even put it in a pool or water, something like that. So we'll wrap that off.
Great around the tree or for the holidays.
Yeah, there you go.
Keep it away from water. Keep it away from water.
That's right.
Very good.
I'm a good boy.
So that was great. And we still have Doug to go on, and he's got a bunch of updates for us. And I will also share my screen while Doug rolls through. Is that good with you, Doug?
Yeah, sure. Just so everybody knows, I do not have a reveal tonight, sad to say, but I did want to update on some of the questions we get on delivery and availability. So what Ken has just put up on his screen is N-scale Toad, and that is now in stock. So I just want to let everyone know, we said it was coming soon. I think we showed it in the package, maybe at the last show or the show before that. But anyway, it is now in stock, so that's ready to rock and roll for you. The next two are both HO scales. There's Mr. Jolly's the ventilated van, Mr. Jolly's Chocolate Factory, that is now also in stock, as is another ventilated van, Brendan Bay Shipping Company.
Awesome. So actually, everyone on this show tonight are first to know, because we still have them on pre-order. We didn't get the shipment in yet. So Doug technically has some breaking news. They're in stock. They're coming out. And as soon as we get them, we'll start shipping. And Doug, this is also great because I was just updating the pictures and descriptions as we speak. So it's a good refresher for us just to make sure everything's accurate. And now we got the actual pictures for the correct prototype. I think we had G-scale up before and just as a sample picture, but so really neat.
All right, sounds good. And as Johnny was holding up just a few seconds ago, our large-scale Thompson locomotive has been out of stock for a while, so that is now back in stock. So again, that's great for under the tree, for the holidays, or so you might want to grab that if you're looking for one of those and hadn't been able to get it yet.
And Doug, don't forget, on our website, we also have a nice little video that Christian may remember. I'm sure his parents were scratching his head when he took up the whole backyard to do this video. But he did a really neat video outside in his backyard, and it came out really neat. So if you're on our website, Christian spent the day making a whole nice track, and it came out really nice, Christian. I think you are a good G-scaler.
Appreciate it, Ken. If you call that hack job a good job, then I'll just take it.
I'd just like to add to that, we talked about HO scale models not being waterproof, but large scale models can take some weather. They can run in a little bit of snow. If you have just a little coating on the rails, they will run. So you might want to consider that for an outdoor project, even in the cold weather, cold climates.
There you go. And rolling with the video series, Bachmann also came out with a new Ryan episode, correct?
Yeah, we showed some of this as a clip when we first introduced Ryan when we showed the first painted sample, but this is a longer form version, and we posted this to our YouTube channel. So you might want to go there and check that out as well. Just kind of fun to see him going around.
Make sure you smash that bell notification.
I like that idea.
And Orion is in stock.
Excellent. So then, just for some other, common questions, and I kind of hesitate to give expected delivery dates for future products because anything can happen. But we have seen the production samples of the large-scale museum coaches. Those are Toby's museum coaches. Those are, yep. Ken's got those. Those are expected in March of 2024. Also coming up is Bo, HO scale Bo. He's coming up for May of 2024.
And my birthday.
Perfect. Another year better, right, Christian?
That's right.
Another great birthday present surprise.
Yeah, we know what'll be on the birthday list, right?
It will.
Very cool.
All right. Also coming in May 2024 is N-Scale Gordon. So, and then I was hoping for better right now, and these next three are for late 2024. So still a way to go on them. And the first for late 2024 is Rebecca. I'm going to try and see if we can move her up. We showed the tooling is done. We have approved paint schemes on her. So I think it may be possible to get that moved up, but the last production schedule I got has her for late 2024. And I know people are going to be a little disappointed in this, but also late 2024 is Sir Handel, our narrow gauge HO scale Sir Handel. Hoping that was going to be sooner, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen before that time. And the same thing for the HO figures. I've been saying the HO figures are a long-term project and taking time, but we are making progress on them. And again, I don't think we're going to see them until late next year. So your patience, please, on some of these projects. I wish we could bring them out sooner. We're just doing the best we can here, and I can promise you that you're going to be happy with them when they do come out.
And Doug, does Sir Handel have a price on it yet? Because I don't think we're taking pre-orders on it, Christian, right?
Oh, Ken, yeah, I was going to say, Sir Handel, you got to get him up there because that is probably one of the most hyped items. Yeah.
If we don't have a price on him yet, we will soon. We should have a price on him soon.
Yeah, I tried looking and I couldn't find him on our website. So usually that means we don't have it out there yet. But
all right, well, I'll check on that and I'll shoot you an email tomorrow.
Cool. Awesome.
Oh, and Doug, I saw some comments. Anything about HO Salty? Because that was another one that I know was revealed and upcoming.
Oh, yeah. Forgot to update you on Salty. Salty is right now on a little bit of an indefinite hold with apologies.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Very cool.
Yeah, not the news you wanted to hear, I'm sure. Sorry.
It'll all be worth the wait, I would think.
Right. Yeah.
I like the way you think, Johnny.
Yeah, awesome stuff, Doug. And this is always good and helpful because I know a lot of people like the updates and see what's going on and keep in tune with all the Bachmann Thomas the Tank products out there. So really neat. And before we wrap this up, I did want to mention I was talking to Matt before. Sam's Trains, who. Actually, I know Sam a while back. He actually did a Bachmann GG1 video from us. We shipped a Bachmann GG1 at a great price, and he did a great review. And he actually did I saw this on YouTube the other day, And he's got so many subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. But he did a review of the original Audrey model, so I thought that was pretty neat. And Matt was who works for us part time. He was in today, and he's like, "Yeah, if Bachmann could do an original Audrey, that would be great." So we're throwing out that recommendation for you, Doug. But,
all right, sounds good. I'll check out the video. I hadn't heard about that yet.
Yeah, he does quite a good job. So big shout out to him for tonight.
Awesome.
Pretty cool. All right, Christian.
All right, time
You
to wrap
did
it
another
up.
job well done.
Thank you. And thank you again, as always, to everyone joining this evening for Thomas Tuesday. Another action-packed event tonight, as you can see. Thank you, Johnny, so much. You were about to say something, Johnny?
No, I was like, how many people were here? I didn't actually see.
Oh. No clue.
Over 100 throughout the channel. So
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Means so much.
Right to the heart. But
Yeah,
thank you, Johnny, so much for showing your enthusiasm, your model work. It's extraordinary how much you've done in the past several years. And you have so much more planned for the future as well. So best of luck, and I'll be there with you, man. I will be checking those subscriptions on YouTube and seeing those customs whenever possible. So
despite the videos, all the models are gonna be safe. They're all gonna be all good.
I like that news.
And thank you, Doug, so much for coming on again this evening, sharing with us the latest shipping updates and the new products that are coming out this year. And also,
always a pleasure. Thank you.
And dealing with our endless product suggestions for the future.
They're all good. It's all good to hear.
Such as H. O'Connor with the new. Oh man, I'm just imagining if that actually did become a reality, how that would sell. It would probably be flying off the shelves. But
we'd have to have Ken sign everyone going out.
Yeah.
And Ken, thank you again so much, as always, for giving me the opportunity to help set up these events. It's always such a fun thing to do. So
You're the man that makes it happen, Christian. So the pleasure is all ours, and great job, everyone, tonight. And great job, Johnny, as well. And Doug, thank you very much, as always. And great job, Christian. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks, everybody.
Alrighty.
All right, Christian, say your final goodbye. Wrap it up.
Alrighty, everyone. Thank you. Keeping the spirit going, and have a great evening.